Today I want to take a closer look at my favorite semiconductor company right now, Nvidia, ticker NVDA. There are three things I really want to look at. First, we're going to take a closer look at some impact with the recent regulations in the AI chip market. Next, I want to take a closer look at their upcoming GPU for the data center market. We have heard some few reports here and there. And finally, I do want to take a closer look at a pretty cool AI solution that the company announced a few days ago. So all that in today's episode. So let's get started. So we can see Nvidia right now is trading at $405. It did peak on its 52-week high of roughly $502. So we are down a nice amount. In the past month, Nvidia is down roughly 10%. In the past 6 months, the stock is up over 40%. And year to date, the stock is dominating the market, up 183%. So the first thing I want to take a closer look at are the AI regulations that came out for exports from here in the United States. And this is a topic we've covered before, where we saw that, hey, previously, under regulations that come out from the United States government, most companies kind of have a 30-day period before the rules go into full effect. But when it came to these AI regulations, Nvidia was kind of told that they were going to be effective immediately, and that came out on October 23rd of 2023. The company did mention that, hey, look, given the strength of the company's products worldwide, Nvidia does not anticipate that the accelerated timing of the license requirements will have near-term meaningful impact on its financial results. And if you have been watching these episodes, you might be tired of this broken record of me asking, hey, look, what do you mean by near-term meaningful impact, right? Is this a quarter? Is this 2 quarters? Is this a year? So normally when we talk about short-term, it's below 12 months or so, but they're not using current, they're using near-term. So I do believe, or I'm hopeful that analysts do ask this question during the company's upcoming earnings next month.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
But what's happening is there are reports appearing online that Nvidia faces a $5 billion hit on U.S. chip restrictions to China, and this came out from the Wall Street Journal, right? So we can take a closer look at Nvidia China, and there are plenty of reports right now that in the short term, Nvidia is going to get hit with a $5 billion loss of cancellation of orders. I mean, I think $5 billion is a lot and a lot of money, but I am pretty shocked that that's coming out, especially since the company did mention that, hey, in the near term, there is going to be no meaningful impact to their financial results. So I'm guessing maybe these are for long-term orders. What I would believe that Nvidia would do is, hey, they're going to find a way to legally make chips that don't meet the requirement of these chip exports, and those are going to be the chips that these kind of other players out there in China are going to take, right? Because at the end of the day, there is no player out there that's competing with Nvidia, even on lower levels, in lower tier chips, than anybody right now, right? So even if Nvidia needs to nerf their chips, I do believe the Chinese market is still going to be pretty strong with them, and they're still going to meet the U.S. regulations and follow the law. So that's the first thing I want to take a closer look at. The second thing I want to take a closer look at is there are reports that Nvidia's next gen, which is their B100, the Blackwell AI GPUs, are to enter supply chain verification stage with Foxconn and Wistron in the race. So first, I do want to say this. We've talked about this chart many weeks ago. I actually am happy to say that this channel was the first place multiple days in advance that ended up finding out this information that Nvidia was changing from a 2-year rhythm to a 1-year rhythm. I believe I posted my first video on October 6th, and the media didn't start talking about it. Even other players didn't start talking about it till October 10th. So if you want the best Nvidia coverage, this is the place you're going to find it. So make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, as I do provide the best information, in my opinion, for the semiconductor space. So the reports are that Nvidia's GB200, which is going to be their AI solution, AI server for the using the B100, is scheduled to be launched in 2024. Many are even reporting that they are going to be launched in the second quarter of 2024. I do believe that kind of bodes bad sad for companies like AMD, as AMD is releasing their MI300 in this upcoming quarter 4, and probably we're going to see full production and ramp production in quarter 1 and quarter 2 of 2024. But that's kind of comparing it to the H100. And I don't believe the MI300 is going to be to the same level as the H100. And now, just probably a quarter after AMD releases their MI300, Nvidia is going to release their next generation of data centers GPU. So Nvidia is definitely trying to stay and hold the crown in this AI leadership. Some other things that they mention is within this article, there are partnerships that Nvidia's is going to be the company that's going to be doing a lot of the advanced manufacturing is going to be Foxconn. What I thought was pretty interesting is because a few weeks ago we did talk about kind of Foxconn and Nvidia kind of entering this pretty cool partnership. I do believe that partnership is going to continue, and we are going to see some great moves for Nvidia here. The final thing I wanted to take a closer look for with this semiconductor giant is there were reports that came out on October 30th where the company showcases that they're using AI solutions to help with the chip design process. So there was a research paper released that describes ways generative AI can assist one of the most complex engineering efforts, designing semiconductors. And this is pretty interesting and pretty cool because when we hear of generative AI, we usually just think of it of simple chat boxes. We usually just think about us image creators or maybe kind of video creators, more in the creative aspects. But here, we can see Nvidia is using a real tool and using it for real efforts, engineering efforts of designing semiconductors. They do mention that this effort marks an important first step in applying large language models to the complex work of designing semiconductors. The paper details how Nvidia engineers created for their internal use a custom large language model called Chip Nemo, trained on the company's internal data to generate and optimize software and assist human designers. So this is pretty insane, right? The company has created their own internal large language model. I do want to say sometimes something like this brings some form of fear in the back of my mind, because at the end of the day, what if some hacker and some kind of collecting this is able to grab this information or this large language model? It kind of has all the internal data of Nvidia, right? I'm pretty sure there's some safeguards behind there for something like that to not happen. But in the back of my mind, this is why I also believe the cybersecurity market is also going to be a very, very important and crucial market with this kind of AI craze that we're going right now. They do kind of showcase numerous cases of how a prototype chat box that responds to questions about GPU architectures and design help many engineers quickly find technical documents in early tests. So I think this is pretty cool, and it's just an early stage. I do believe right now Nvidia is going to continue to create small chat boxes like this, maybe not ones that impact its industry, right? But who knows? In the future, we might have Nvidia collect plenty of data from one industry and be able to kind of sell that data. I mean, right now they are probably going to do a lot of things for like the robotics market, for the automotive market. And just to think of it, this could be another avenue for them in forms of revenue, in forms of market solutions. So a lot of things happening here with Nvidia. I do believe that right now we are all waiting for earnings call, but what we heard from big tech, and I've done a few episodes before, is they are going to continue to invest in AI, and that's going to be a nice sequential growth for at least the next few quarters. So it does seem like for now there is still plenty of demand in the market. I believe at the end of the day, it's going to be very difficult when there is. I do believe it's not going to be impossible that there's going to be a quarter or two, or maybe even a cycle where inventories in the data center space and in the AI space are going to get too high, and we're going to start to see a correction. So we're going to try to keep an eye out for that here in this channel. Like always, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, as I do provide a lot of great information. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.